2022 to order. Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Rick Mueller.
Present.
Councilmember William Benning.
William, are you on the phone?
Councilmember Gregory Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Angelica Landry.
Present.
Councilmember Marta Messmer.
Present.
Councilmember Mark Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilmember Carolyn Humphrey.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Okay, William, are you on the phone? Yes, not. Okay. We'll start tonight, as we usually do with the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. The invocation will be led by Greg Rolls of God is Good Church. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be followed by, be led by Councilman Rodriguez. Will you please rise?
Bow your hearts with me. Father God, as we come in the name of Jesus, we come to give you thanks and praise. We ask your blessing upon this meeting right now, Lord. God, we ask right now, Father, there would be a spirit of unity and peace and love and compassion and kindness and oneness as we go forward right now. Lord, we thank you for the service that these men and women have given. We ask, Lord, you to bless them not only in their job, but at their homes also. Lord, we pray right now, Father, that we would walk in one accord, Lord, put all isms and schisms to the side and look to you. May you look down and be pleased with the community of Sierra Vista as you find us to be righteous and holy and just, doing what's good and right in your eyes. Lord, lead, guide, and direct now in all we say and do. May we be a blessing to one another. May we show love and kindness during this Christmas season, Father, and always lift you up as we say, have your way. As business is conducted, Father, let us put you first and foremost, giving you all praise and glory in all things we do. In Jesus' holy name, amen.
Amen.
Please face the flag and join me at the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Rolls, and thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. We now move to item 1, acceptance of the agenda. Mrs. Humphrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the agenda for the regular City Council meeting of December 8th, 2022 be approved.
It's been moved. Who had the second? It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to remove item 5, Resolution 2022-075, intergovernmental agreement with Patagonia Union High School to provide commercial driver's license training and exam licensure from the table, and to remove item 5 from the agenda.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, and I'll just mention for the public that wasn't here on Tuesday, this item was kind of deemed unnecessary as we redid the structure of the program for the CDL licenses, which is going to actually include our good friends from Patagonia.
Right.
So
And also, it does not include training, it's merely examination
of the
for the CDL license.
CDL licenses, and the training is happening at Cochise College, which they're required to be in 2 separate locations. So we can meet it without the amendment. So I need to ask if there's any further discussion on this.
None.
Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. The item is removed from the agenda. And we're kosher?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Awards and
Mostly.
presentations next. We have a presentation tonight from the Sierra Vista Historical Society by Councilwoman Messmer.
Take the floor, please.
You can come out there with me?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to introduce Evan Mesmer. He is the youngest board member for the Sierra Vista Historical Society, and he will take the presentation from here.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Evan Mesmer. I'm here to represent the Sierra Vista Historical Society. Thanks to the generous contributions by all of our donors and our members, I'm going to present to you this check for $100,000 to renovate the Sierra Vista Museum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And who's the finance person that gets this check?
Thank you. I don't think that'll go in the night deposit.
Before I say thank you, I just want to make sure that people know we do have a great city museum here in the city of Sierra Vista. They're still trying to raise money and assist the city in getting a separate building built, and that may take a few years. So that's a project I'm handing off to the new mayor. And it's supported very well in the community, and we have great people on the Historical Society that do that on a regular basis. So please, if you're interested in preserving the history of Sierra Vista and really this part of Cochise County, please become a member and be an active member in the Historical Society. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I guess I should have said thank you 100,000 times. But it's a great gift, and we appreciate the support of all the organizations in the community. Next, we go to the city manager's report. Mr. Patuchik.
Thank you, Mayor Mueller, members of the council. Reminder that your next meetings, the work session for the 20th of December and the regular council meeting for the 22nd of December have been canceled in deference to the Christmas holiday. So as a result of the Christmas and New Year's holidays, city offices will be closed on the 26th, which is a Monday, since Christmas falls on a Sunday, and of course then the 2nd of January, since obviously the New Year also falls on a Sunday. So that, of course, means refuse service will shift to Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday as a result of that. So just a note. Of course, then the next regular meetings of the council, the work session will be on the 10th of January, 2023, 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. And then, of course, your first meeting of the new year will be on the 12th. And that will include the ceremonial swearing in of the new mayor and council. A number of projects tonight. We have the RFP for the strategic leadership planning consultant. We had interviews this week with the 2 finalists. I have selected the firm, and once that award is accepted, we will announce who that is, and we'll get them going on the planning process for that, which will involve council involvement and probably a survey. One transit bus for the 25 to 30 passenger range. That RFP has been issued, and those proposals are due back on January 9th. The roofing project for the police department, public works, and the sports center, that bid was issued on November 18th. Bids are due on January 5th. The aviation fuel tank conversion from Avgas to Jet A repair and maintenance project. Those bids were issued on November 7th, and bid opening is due on December 16th. The audiovisual upgrades at the police department, that award recommendation is expected today, actually. So hopefully I'll be able to break that news to you very soon. And then the wastewater master plan, as you're probably aware, we did a fairly large improvement project at the wastewater plant a number of years ago that we financed, and it's going to come time to do that once again. So we start that the planning process. A lot of moving parts associated with that, but around the 2027 time frame is when we'll probably have to be constructing that new improvements at the wastewater plant. Good Neighbor Alliance, pricing was received from the firm of A5 Design and Construction, and we are currently in final negotiations with Good Neighbor Alliance on that project. And then the conference room downstairs, also improvements will be made to that room. The kickoff meeting for that was today, so the conference room will be closed while it's under construction during the holiday season. Also, this morning I attended CCOM Joint Powers Authority Board meeting with the sheriff and other members of the board. Pleased to report that we have 2 new hires for full-time dispatchers there, and 3 are in the pipeline, so maybe we're seeing that finally free up a little bit. We have a long way to go, but nonetheless, that was good news. And of course, we're working very hard to try to stand up the Dispatcher Academy in conjunction with Cochise College. We hope that classes will begin on January 17th, and we hope to have a number of people involved in that, and hopefully we can get hires out of that process as well. So that is also ongoing. At this time, I'd like to wish everybody, on behalf of the staff in the city of Sierra Vista, a very Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. It'll be our pleasure once again to serve our great residents and our great community in the coming year. And finally, I would like to thank Mayor Mueller for his leadership and friendship through his many years now as mayor and council member. And on behalf of the staff, I would just like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for all that you've done for the community and the city. And we appreciate you, and you'll be greatly missed. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chuck. I'll just warn you, I'll still be around.
Okay.
But thank
Somehow I
you.
have a feeling that's going to be the case.
I appreciate that. Now, I'm gonna step back a minute, because I figured out why the city clerk was nodding her head at me. I need to ask for a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'll move to accept the agenda as amended.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you, William. Glad you're here. All right, let's see. Item number 2, consent agenda. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 3 items on the consent agenda, and I move that the consent agenda consisting of regular meeting council minutes of November 10th, 2022, special meeting council minutes of November 22nd, 2022, and resolution 2022-077, the appointment of Randy Wilcox and the reappointment of Damon Malone to the Planning and Zoning Commission, said terms to expire December 31st, 2024, and Resolution 2022-078, reappointments of Joseph Hayes and Jessica Kunkel to the Park and Recreation Commission, said terms to expire December 31st, 2024, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Comment. I
Comment?
just want to thank you all for serving on the commissions and for continuing, and welcome to Mr. Wilcox. Thank you so much for serving, for coming to serve.
Okay, and I will thank you also for your service and re-upping as well. But I want to remind everybody that we do have commissions with vacancies. So you can go to the city clerk's office, or actually go to the city clerk's office, or go online and find out where those vacancies are if you want to provide input to the city operation here. So, and that would be also greatly appreciated. Okay, any other comments?
Just a quick thank you for the commission as well. You are the eyes and ears of our citizens in Sierra Vista for things that we can't be at. We can't be everywhere, so it's great that our commissions are there. Obviously, we'll be doing a little bit of changing to our commissions, but for the better, I believe. So thank you for continuing to show up. And like the mayor said, please reach out if you want to join a commission, because there are open vacancies. Thank you.
I also want to thank all our commissioners for their willingness to serve. particularly with the planning and zoning. I'm really grateful we have good commissioners on that commission, because you have a very important role coming up in a couple years with the general plan being updated. So thank you. And if you want to say one more time, before, you usually tell them to hang around to get sworn at. By Jill.
If you need to be sworn in again, Jill will be here available after the meeting, so you can swear at her. What do you say? Okay, any other discussion? I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now go on to a public hearing items. Item number 3. And Greg, if you do this one.
Yes, I will. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2022-079, a new in-state microbrewery, Series 3 liquor license for Matthew Onthank Brown on behalf of the Tombstone Brewing Company, located at 332 North Garden Avenue, Sierra Vista, Arizona, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Adams, may we have the staff report, please?
Mayor Mueller, members of council, as mentioned, this is an application for an in-state microbrewery license for the Tombstone Brewing Company. The notice of the public hearing, this public hearing, and the next item were posted on the facility for the required 20-plus days, and no comments have been received from the public other than they're ready to go and drink there. So nothing against the license. I did get a message in supplement of my brief on Tuesday from Mr. Brown, and apparently when you brew beer, there's a hot part of the process and a cold part of the process. They're going to be doing the cold part at this facility, and they'll do the hot part at a different facility and transport the product here. So he will be actually performing part of the microbrewing process at the location. The police department has done their background check and has no objection to this license being moved forward for approval, and if approved tonight, it will be returned to the state tomorrow for final action.
Thank you for your report, Ms. Adams. Questions for Mrs. Adams or discussion on this item?
It's good to see the historical Daisy Mays location repurposed that everybody used to love to frequent. So it's good to move forward with a new business that people can go check out.
Okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now move on to item number 4. Dr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2022-080, new restaurant license, Series 12 liquor license for Matthew Onthank Brown on behalf of the Tombstone Brewing Company, located at 332 North Garden Avenue, Sierra Vista, Arizona, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Adams, may we have the staff report, please?
Again, this is the application for the stacked license for a liquor license, for a restaurant liquor license, which will allow Mr. Brown and his business to serve products other than beer at their restaurant. Again, as I stated, the notice of the public hearing was posted on the facility, and no comments for or against the license have been received. The background, again, same background, was approved by the police department, and if approved by you tonight, it will be returned to the state for final action.
Questions for Mrs. Adams on her report? Seeing no questions or comments, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adams. We now go to new business. Item 5 was removed from the agenda, so we'll go on to item number 6. Mrs. Mesmer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2022-081, a transfer of funds from the general funds to the Highway Use Revenue Capital Improvement and Health and Accident Fund be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Felix, may we have the staff report, please?
Mayor, members of council, we're currently still finishing the books, about ready to close the books on fiscal year 22. As per city policy, we come to you with any excess revenues over expenses for the general fund to give recommendation to you on what to do with it. Due to the COVID revenues that we've been receiving, good sales volume at the state level, both on the income tax and the privilege tax sides, we are approximately 2.7 million revenue over expense. Staff is recommending shifting $1 million of that to the HERF fund for additional projects in the future. The Avenida Cochise extension, or the Avenida Escuela extension and Charleston Road did take a chunk out of the HERF fund reserve balance, so this will help give more flexibility for you in projects in this current year and next year. And $1 million moved to the capital improvements fund, mainly due to help with ACO expansion, but if there's another project that is deemed more important, to use that. The $58,000 to the health and accident fund would be for a temporary one-year reduction in the employee copay that the employees pay for their dependents. That amount would range from $29 a month to $62 a month gross. The net the employee receives would obviously depend on their tax brackets, but this will give a temporary help with the employees given the inflation that they're seeing in the store. And this also holds the health and accident fund whole for the gains it did get this year. That would leave about $700,000 going into general fund reserves, which would be about a 10% growth from the current budget, the current amount that it's at. So it would be very fortunate, again, when the mayor has been here in tight times, that we are able to recommend to you to do this. Passing the resolution will approve our recommendation to you to do this. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Questions from Mr. Felix on his recommendations?
Just a comment, no questions.
Sure.
I just want to thank the staff for putting this together. Most importantly, the employee copay part, right? It's a recruiting/retention tool, I believe, in my eyes, because we have a lot of employees that are looking to, just do the best for their family. So if one thing that's keeping you from going to somewhere else and leaving our city is that you're paying too much of a copay for insurance, anything that we can do in the future to keep that down, I really appreciate that, because it helps us retain the really good employees that we have in our city. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good point. Anybody else? Seeing nothing else, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Felix. We next go on to item number 7, Ms. Humphrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2022-082, a second amendment to the Southeastern Arizona Communications Intergovernmental Agreement be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Yarborough, may we have the staff report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. There's an ongoing effort to update and revise the CCOM IGA and bylaws, but there is one issue that took priority, and the CCOM board is recommending to make one change now, and that issue affects the CCOM Operations Committee. The change before you tonight will establish a tier system for subscribers, where Tier 1 will be composed of all of those entities that pay for full dispatching services of CCOM, and Tier 2 will be those entities that receive basic service that is required by state statute. And so if you approve this tonight, the Tier 2 subscribers may still be allowed to be part of the Operations Committee, but they'll no longer count towards the quorum, and the Operations Committee will be able to meet again with fewer people counting towards the quorum. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions.
Questions for Mrs. Yarborough? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now go on to item number 8. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2022-083, an amendment to the Judicial Services Contract with Kenneth J. Kerfman, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 5, be tabled.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. I'll call for the question. All those in favor of tabling this item, please raise your hands.
Aye.
Opposed? It will be tabled. Thank you very much. Call to the public is next. We have one member from the public that would like to address us tonight, and that is Mr. Roderick Washington. If you come forward, sir, you've got 5 minutes. If you come up to the microphone so everybody can hear you at home. We have a light system here. It'll start all green, and as your time runs down, it'll flash yellow and flash red. When it hits red, I'll ask you to conclude your remarks.
Of course, sir.
Please, sir, you have the floor.
This is my very first time ever being at a City Hall meeting. I'm very excited to be here. Since I'm a 100% disabled vet and have lots of time on my hands, when I walk in the park over there on 7th Street by Buffalo Soldier, I got attacked by a dog. I met another lady who 3 little girls got attacked by dogs. And since I got all this time on my hands being a 100% disabled vet, I thought I should crusade against this lawlessness. And there's one other thing that I don't like that I see in my town, is that people don't use signal lights anymore, which is a clear and present danger. And I noticed that the police don't say anything to the people when they don't use their signal lights, and that bothers me. So since I got time on my hands, I thought I should crusade against this, because I'm going to keep going to the park. I'm not going to stop because people got dogs off there, big dogs off there, leashes running around. So I hope coming here today will offer some sort of resolution for all this lawlessness. You know, being a dedicated, devoted Republican, I like to crusade against lawlessness every chance I get. And that's just about all I got to say.
Thank you, sir. We'll next go on to comments and requests of council. And first, we'll start tonight with Ms. Mesmer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's going to be a La Posada on December 17th on the West End. We're going to start there at the Domino's, and we will process to Julie and Sammy's. And I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is your last meeting.
Hopefully.
And I know it will be, and I know you will always be around. I've only served under you for 2 years, and one thing that I've come to appreciate is your ability to bring us all together. We've done this a couple of times where we've had disagreements, and you were always able to champion and lead us in the right way. So I appreciate that, and you will be missed. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind comments, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Benning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I have to agree with Councilman Johnson, Mr. Mayor. You've always had a way to bring us back together and keep us on track. And I just want to thank you. I wasn't able to come earlier, and thank you. So I wanted to take a moment and thank you for your mentorship. Sometimes that slap in the back of the head was always good also. Your leadership, you will be missed even though you're still going to be around. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's coming up. Please be safe. And a lot of people don't know. So last night, this time, I was having surgery. I shattered my wrist. And I saw him in attendance. I want to thank Chief Devers and all his guys and even Miss Victoria, who was doing a ride-along. She helped the most, I told her. But it was really nice having such professionals. I said coming to my aid, but they were amazing, and I can't thank them enough. And I'm doing better, and I thank everybody for setting up so I can call in and being a part of the dice in the last moments with you, Mr. Mayor. And that's all I got.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to hear you had some successful surgery, and hopefully you'll recover very quickly. Next is Ms. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a busy time of year. There's lots going on, so definitely check out what is happening in the community. There's great things going on at the park. Tomorrow night there is a Sips for Snips event going on at Hoppin' Grapes. I'm not sure if tickets are sold out completely or not, but the Friends of the Animals of Sierra Vista. Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter are putting this on. Proceeds will go to help people spay and neuter their pets, which can be pretty pricey. So if you can't help them tomorrow, there's lots of things you can do to help them out. So definitely check that out. And this time of year, there's people that maybe are spending this time the first time on their own. Maybe they're missing family. Maybe they're here and away from family and friends. So definitely reach out to your neighbors, reach out to people that you know, invite them to be a part of your festivities. Maybe take them a meal if maybe that would help them out. So just kind of look out and think out think about your neighbors and reach out to them. Also, Sierra Vista has a lot of really great small businesses, local businesses. Shop local. Think about the various shops that are out there when you're buying gifts for one another. And Mr. Mayor, it's been really great working with you and getting to know you and learning so much from you. And there's so much. You're all over town. You're everywhere. You're a very strong, great presence in the community. And I hope to see you around more, and we'll definitely miss you a lot.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez.
You have the red light.
This thing is.
You got the red light.
He's done.
Remarks complete. All right. I want to have everybody that, I mentioned on Tuesday, this council executive report, it's online. A lot of good information here, right? So go on to our website, look for the council stuff. More importantly, page 36, I think, is all the projects and plans approved in our city. Everybody go look at that. I said it on Tuesday, I'll say it again. Go check that out online. It'll answer a lot of your questions, and if you're curious about what's being built in a lot of places, a lot of times it's there, so check it out. Going back to this past week, we had an awesome parade, and it stands on my mind, the ice skating rink that's here this year. It's beautiful to drive down Friday, see people out there ice skating in the middle of Sierra Vista. It's here till January 3rd, is that correct?
January 2nd.
2nd, sorry, I added a day. If you show up on the 3rd, it won't be there. All right, January 2nd, you can, I really want to thank you as well for opening it up to the Avengers Inclusion Organization, people with special needs that can have their time on the ice alone and do their thing. I love that, it's open. You can rent it for your events if you want. Just take use of it while it's here, right, before Frosty the Snowman melts away, so it's January 2nd. The mayor and I were at Boulder Crest last week. If you're not familiar with Boulder Crest, Arizona, it's a awesome retreat set out in Sonoyta, right? It's meant for veterans, combat veterans, but it's open to a lot of people as well as first responders. So, a lot of times we talk about PTSD, but they want to show you that there's also growth out there. Post-traumatic growth is kind of what they're all about. So if you haven't been out there, I'm mad at myself that it took me 5 years to get out there from the time it opened. It's been open 5 years, and that's what we're there for. An awesome guest speaker was Captain Charlie Plum. If you're not familiar with him, he's a U.S. Navy pilot, got shot down. He was a POW in Vietnam. He started the Top Gun program. So really, really cool dude to hear talk. So if you're looking for any kind of help or know anybody that needs some help veteran-wise, look up the Boulder Crest, Arizona, and see if they can help you out. And with that being the holidays, remember those that are deployed, please. While we're all celebrating here with our family and friends, a lot of people are not. They're out there keeping us safe, as well as our local first responders who'll be working that day, just like they work Thanksgiving. So, stop by the stations, drop them off some cookies or something like that. Make sure you know that you're thinking about them. They'll definitely appreciate that, I'm sure. And to the mayor, we thought about all wearing Hawaiian shirts and shorts today for your last meeting, but then you didn't wear it, so it wouldn't have worked. We would have looked crazy. But just things like that, when I think about, Mayor Mueller, things that stand on my mind, I wanted to be that one day, is just be able to walk in a meeting with my Hawaiian shirt and my shorts and just say, I'm here, let's get this thing going, Doesn't matter what I'm wearing, it matters what I'm saying. So I love that about you, sir. So I appreciate that about you, and we're going to miss you for sure, and I'm looking forward to seeing you out there in the audience after you retire.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Humphrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was Williams. William was scheming that plan, and I think it might have happened if he could have been here with us, dressing extra casual. I'm looking out, and I'm starting to think I wish I took Chuck up on his offer to read this earlier, but that's okay. I'm just gonna get through it. I just first want to thank the Historical Society for their generous donation to our museum and everything y'all are doing to preserve the history and share the knowledge of our history here in Sierra Vista. And then, of course, I want to thank our Mayor Rick Mueller. It's been an absolute honor to serve with you, and I will always be grateful for your leadership and your mentorship. You made yourself available to all of us, and I know I didn't reach out as much as I probably should have, but I'm much more of a watch and learn kind of person. So I know that the more I watched you, the more I realized that the level of experience and history and understanding of our city is something, it's irreplaceable. And it's no wonder you're our longest running mayor. And you served as a council member for 9 years and then as our mayor for 12. And this wouldn't be a farewell speech of mine if I didn't somehow reference the classic Christmas movie Die Hard. So I did the math.
Christmas movie?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did the math. And of your 21 years of service on this council, broken down into minutes, is 11,037,600 minutes. You divide that by the run time of 132 minutes, and your time on this council is the same amount of time it would take to watch Die Hard 83,618 times, which, even for me, is a lot of Bruce Willis. You made one of the hardest jobs look easy, and it was mentioned several times during your reception that that's the truth. So I'll just add this quote by former U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson. When the burdens of the presidency seem unusually heavy, I always remind myself it could be worse. I could be a mayor.
Good job.
Thank you for serving our city and making the job easier for the rest of us. I'm sure you'll be involved, and I'm going to miss working with you on a regular basis. And I'm looking forward to working with our mayor-elect, Claire McCaw. We have a lot of challenges before us, and I'm not just talking about William Benning. I'm also, in all seriousness, there's never a shortage. That's the life of running a city. And I know we're all going to put in the hard work and continue to make Sierra Vista the best city. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you. But if you'll indulge me a minute, I do have another presentation before I give my normal spiel here at the end of the meeting. So I'm going to move forward. A lot's been said about the mayor and his job and making it easy, but the fact is that the mayor of any or a leader of any organization can't do anything or be effective in any way unless he's got quality people around him. And tonight I want to recognize one member of our team, an employee, that has continually gone above and beyond in what her duties are. This is a lady who, I'm trying not to reveal her name until I announce it here. This is a lady who fills in for her boss when her boss is gone. This is a lady who fills in for the people that work for them on a regular basis. This is a lady who literally has touched every employee and made their jobs easier in our city, and has a great rapport with the citizens. And I hear this primarily on a daily basis because when I'm in the office, my door's always open, and her desk just happens to be within earshot. So I hear what's going on and how she very tactfully handles all kinds of inquiries from the public and filling in for the folks at the front desk as well as elsewhere. This is a young lady who I appreciate because when I'm in my office with my little tiny transistor radios turned on, she has hers on and it's on the same station, so I can turn around and type on the computer and have stereo. So that's an extra benefit. But the young lady is a fine example of the people that work for the city of Sierra Vista that make Sierra Vista a great place to live. And I want to take a minute to ask Maria Marsh, who also, by the way, makes sure that all the things we do at council meetings are legal and recorded. Maria, if you come forward, please.
Yeah.
Maria, it's been an honor and privilege to work with you for more than 12 years. And you always do a great job. You always have a smile. You always have a great attitude, no matter what type of particular person's on the phone. And we get some winners sometimes. And so I want to present to you a Mayor's Award. And it reads, "For excellence in service to our community and a deep sense of civic and personal responsibility for the betterment of the city of Sierra Vista, Arizona. Awarded this the 8th day of December 2022, signed by the mayor. And I also want to provide you a mayor's coin, which not everybody gets, but you do. So thank you very much, and congratulations. Would you like to say anything?
Beach.
I'm overwhelmed, thank you. I wasn't expecting this. I just do my job. With pleasure. Most of the time. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the attitude of a lot of our great city workers. I'll get up there in a minute. As far as announcements go, I want to thank the Historical Society for their generous donation. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll put it to good use. On behalf of the United Veterans Council of Greater Sierra Vista, I want to announce that the Veteran of the Year for 2023 is Mr. Shorty Larson. Most folks know Shorty from the VFW. He's been president there or the commander there for a number of terms, as well as he's the head guy for the VFW Color Guard, and he's done many other things in the community. And if you want to mark down on your calendar, the luncheon to recognize him is 19 January, 11 o'clock at the VFW Hall. Before we had him meet there, we had this meeting. We had a small reception in my honor. I want to thank those who were here, for the employees and all the kind words. And they gave me a gift, which is a pretty nice scrapbook. I can barely lift it; it's so heavy. And I want to thank them for that. And I will tell you that this is a great city. It's not great because I'm the mayor, and I'm saying that. It's great because we have great people that want to have a great place to live. We have great employees and a great management team that run the city so that those folks can enjoy the great outdoors in Sierra Vista and all the amenities we have. And in my humble opinion, this is the greatest community in Arizona, if not the country. And I want to thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be able to lead the community. With that, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Prospero Año Nuevo, and meeting is adjourned.